Hello YouTube, it's Map Machine here, and today we're going to do 10 interesting views from the Google Earth Pro. I hope you enjoyed this video and join me, shall you? Number 1. Walt Disney World's Magic Kingdom's Haunted Mansion. The Haunted Mansion makes you feel like you're riding inside a mansion. But you actually are not in a mansion. You'll see in the next clip on Google Earth. As you can see in this image from Google Earth, the mansion itself is very small. But if you look behind it, there's a whole white out section right over here. Well, you guys can't see my cursor, but it's right behind it. The whole ride takes place in that section, and then you enter only through the mansion, the small mansion. And it kind of makes me feel like a foolish mortal. Number 2, Disney Fantasmic, the amphitheater. It's a very interesting view when you see it from Google Earth. In Fantasmic, it seems like Steamboat Willie is actually conducting boats. But if you look closely on Google Earth, you'll see tracks for it. If you look very closely at this image from Google Earth, you'll see the track going around the whole stage and the volcano rock structure thing that they have in the middle, which makes this very interesting. It makes you want to think, what other rides do the people don't actually drive? Could they not be driving Jungle Cruise? Number 3, Magic Kingdom's Splash, or what used to be known as Splash Mountain in Disney World. In this image of Splash Mountain, it makes it look like you're driving just through the mountain itself on the log, and then you go downhill. But if you look on Google Earth, it's completely different. On Google Earth, you go through, you can see there's a show building behind there that the ride vehicle takes you through. So you don't ride in a big mountain. These the bottom part of the mountain they build, the fake mountain they build. And so you go through the building. It starts off when you go through the section that's you'll see underneath the cardboard, the pink thing on the side. Then it goes straight in. Then it takes you to a loop above, then you go into the underneath it. Or not underneath it, then it takes you in there. And does something like that to get into Space Mountain. Or Splash Mountain. Number 4, Disney's Hollywood Studios Star Wars Galaxy Edge. If you look at this picture of the Star Wars Galaxy Edge, you can obviously see it's completed 100% and it's 100% done. But if you look on Google Maps, you may get different results. On Google Maps, you can still see they're working on construction work on the Galaxy Edge. The mountains aren't even up yet. You can see like the structures of the buildings and everything on there. You can see where the rides are by the wordings, but it's not up, or the rides are not actually there yet at the time that they took the picture. Number 5, Epcot's Soaring Around the World. If you're in the land pavilion and walk through the Soaring Around the World, you'll just think it's a section building already into it. But however, it's not. Soaring Around the World is actually 3 different section buildings outside of Living with the Land, but they have an expansion thing to make you walk through them. And on Google Maps, it only has 2 since the 3rd one opened up recently. And I'm going to cut over to that clip right now. In this clip, you'll see that the land pavilion is a little bit of a distance away from the actual Soarin' ride. And you can tell they made the buildings afterwards, and it's actually hard to see those buildings when you're inside the park walking around. And the third one's actually right next to the other one. Number 6. Epcot's Living with the Land. Epcot's Living with the Land may seem like a 15-minute boat ride that goes around the building. However, it goes outside the building a little bit into one greenhouse, then goes back inside a smaller building, then into another greenhouse. And also, they actually have more greenhouses outside of the Living with the Land pavilion on Google Maps, as you'll see in the next clip. In this clip, you'll see that the land pavilion is big enough to cover the actual greenhouses in the back, so you won't see that while you're walking around the park. Then in a second, when you see me move, you can see they actually have more greenhouses outside of the ride. The ride is like a 15-minute boat ride, just educating you about the farming. It's one of my favorite rides at Epcot, actually. And now time for the next one. Number 7. Epcot's Mexico Pyramid. In this image, the pyramid at Epcot actually looks like a real pyramid, but however it's not when you look at it in Google Earth. On Google Earth, you could see this building is a square building, a rectangle building that's very big, and from the outside it looks like a pyramid, but it's not. But they still did a good job with the zooming on the sides to show that's like it's Mexican. Number 8, the dinosaur ride at Animal Kingdom in Walt Disney World. In this image, looks like that you're walking into a small building for this ride. However, this building takes you underground into a different building to ride the ride. And you'll see this on Google Maps. As you can see, the trees are actually blocking the view of the big building behind the small building. And you can see there's like an underground thing to go into that big building for the ride. The Dino Institution ride. And it's a very good ride. In my opinion, it's underrated. It's supposed to be the scariest ride that they made in Walt Disney World, but I don't think so. Number 9, Animal Kingdom's Pandora. If you walk around Pandora, you'll see a picture like this on your when you walk around, or you'll see stuff like this. But however, it doesn't look as pretty if you look at it on Google Maps. On Google Earth, it looks like this. Believe it or not, the Navi River Journey is right underneath the Flight of Passage ride. They share the same show building. The only difference is it's below it, not above it. And the Flight of Passage uses actually the same technology as soaring around the world. So you get the sense, the only difference it is, it's 4D, not the two-dimensional ride like soaring is. Number 10. Animal Kingdom Expedition Everest. When you're riding Expedition Everest, it makes you feel like you run into Yeti inside the mountains. However, that's actually not the case whatsoever. If you look at this image from Google Earth, you'll see there's a show building attached to the mountain. That's the section where you run into Yeti in that show building area. And you can also tell it's not an actual real mountain from this view. But once again, shout out to Disney for hiding that show area where you can see Yeti, because you don't notice it when you walk around the parks. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you like more content like this, make sure you subscribe and click that like button. Deuces.